Good morning, everybody. Hope you had a great evening. It was nice here in Wichita. We were overcast for most of the day. Only made it to the high 80s, so that's always pleasant, even with high humidity. So we had a good time in Wichita last night. The financials are off overnight based on strength in the E-mini, and that strength returned late yesterday, and the financials sold late in yesterday's session, so the inverse relationship returned. And when you take a look at the structure, you can see that the selling from yesterday afternoon continued because we had volume moving lower in each of the distributions, and this volume right here in the 8 or 9 area has attracted it, the market to it. I was hoping to sell 15s this morning. That isn't going to work, so the sell is going to be 11 to 15 and then 19 to 23. On the buy side, I think we're headed lower. I think we could get as low as the buck, but we're going to put buy 1 at 1 to 5. I don't think the bottom will fall out of this market, and then 25 to 29 for buy 2. The strength in equities outside of Japan is attributed to China's export numbers and unemployment numbers, Germany's manufacturing and services PMI, Spain's unemployment rate. France and Italy were off, and then the de-escalation of fighting between it's just not escalating, it's not getting any worse, between the Ukraine and Russia. The propaganda machine is going full force to make sure that the Palestinians in Gaza have some of their fighting force left intact. If Israel is smart, they're over there, they might as well get the job done. From Israel's standpoint, obviously if you're an Arab or a Palestinian, you don't like the sound of that, but you know, if you lob missiles at people day in and day out, they're going to react and do something, and they shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. But it's amazing how effective the propaganda machine is out of the Palestinian world. They do good work. They know their game. So Israel will feel the mounting. I mean, most of the world thinks that Israel's at fault for this. And they've got to do their work as fast as they can, because each day the pressure will mount on them. Okay, we've got the default number for jobless claims, 310. That number could come in lower than forecast. New home sales, if it reflects mortgages and the rest of it, mortgage applications, would come in lower, but with smoothing, my guess is this number could come in higher than forecast. Nobody cares about natural gas inventories. Kansas City Fed is most likely to come in as forecast. So number 1 focus will be jobless claims. Number 2 focus will be new home sales. The thing that's driving today's market is going to be the direction of the E-mini, and the E-mini, like we talked about, is headed to 2,000. My guess is they make it tomorrow to make everybody feel happy as they go home over the weekend. But the E-mini is pointed higher, and that late strength in the E-mini and the strong close led to this weakness. Late in yesterday's session, you can see that we have a D, pretty much leaning B in the overnight session. Volume did move lower, and we definitely have a B right now. Again, I don't think the bottom can fall out of this market just because of the unrest around the world and the potential for financial surprises. Portugal, Spain, a surprise bank out of Northern Europe, something. The Chinese state yesterday stopped their second industrial bond default, so I mean, right underneath the surface, there's a lot of bad news happening, and that could hit the tape at any time. We lost the third airliner last night, a flight from mid-Africa back to, I believe, either Algiers. They lost an MD-83, old DC-9. They say airplane crashes come in threes. That was the third one. Okay, the knob spread has come in. It's less than 13, just under it at 1231. Again, you see the same phenomena. You have this K split. This selling in K gave us a B. This pattern till we do the split in P is definitely a B, not a D leaning B, and we definitely have a B here. So got a very, very clean break at 9:10. So the sell is 10 to 14, and then 19 to 23. Only thing that I could see that could rally us early would be weakness in the E-mini, and I don't know where that would come from. 29 to 01, buy 1, and then 21 to 25 for buy 2. Okay, gold got slammed on Asia Open. The selling was attributed to China's strong numbers, greater than forecast exports. And there was another figure in there that was mentioned that I forgot. But you can see when Asia Open, gold just got hammered. And gold, if it's going to get hammered, is going to do it on the Asian opening, the London opening, or the US opening. That's when you're most prone to get your head handed to you if you're long. The market made it down to our number 2 support area from last night, 95, 97. It's an area that could hold. We've got a high volume number at 93. We are pointed lower, so we'll play for a little bit lower in the day session. We'll go 93, 95, buy 1. Let them get stops below the overnight. And then 88 to 90 will be buy 2. On the sell side, we've got a seller against 1300. 1300 plus or minus. Sell 1, 5 to 7. Sell 2. Some of the commentary on gold, why is it selling, is the economic recovery is starting to broaden and spread around the world. Economic activity is picking up. If you look at Caterpillar's numbers, that tells you that economic activity in construction and mining is not picking up. The biggest increases in Europe's numbers, again, came from services, not from manufacturing. This held the euro up a little bit overnight. I think the euro is still pointed down because the central bank wants it lower. But Europe came back pretty nicely off of its numbers, and the question is, will it be able to get through 135 or not this morning? And my guess is it can't. Okay, you can see we got this very, very clean break at 95 to the buck, so we'll make that sell 1, let them go a little bit higher, catch some shorts in the United States, but obviously we've got to get through 85 to get to our 95 to 135 area, and then we'll make 15 to 25, sell 2. Don't think we can get to that. Good buying out of London in the 3450 area. We left last night wanting to buy 40s to 50s, so we caught that just right. And again, there's a lot of money to be made if you can trade London time in the euro and gold, especially those two. Right here we got a pretty clean break at 65, so we're at 76, so we'll make 50 to 60 buy one, give it a little room to the downside. More interested in selling than buying, and then we'll make the 30 to 40 buy two, let them get stops. And the reason I'm more interested in selling is that it's a long-term sell, in my opinion. And that opinion has served us pretty well so far this year, and has led to some pretty nice trades. Okay, crude oil. Again, Maliki was told by Sistani, who's in the JAF, who was the big one that brought the Shias together to help oust Saddam Hussein, has given Maliki a vote of no confidence. It's hard to see how he can maintain his leadership without Sistani. So the oil flow out of Iraq is still secure. The ISIS controls the oil fields in Syria, according to the news reports. ISIS needs cash flow. They say they're making $1 million a day selling that. Libyan crude oil has production has stabilized in the 350,000 barrel per day. So we have fairly secure oil supplies right now, but obviously Iraq's, Syria's, and Libya's are rather tenuous if you think about them. The saving grace is that all tyrants and dictators and rebels need cash flow too. So the last thing to go in Iraq would be the oil fields. It takes too much time to rebuild and restructure. So we still have this selling against 103.50, and we left yesterday's market wanting to sell against 350, and we didn't make it. It held. So we got a seller at 25 to 50. We talked about putting it there last night. Thought we might go a little higher with yesterday's close. We didn't. And then 75 to 104 is sell 2. On the buy side, we have our attractor down at 102.35, so we're at 86. So I'm going to give it some room to the downside. I don't think we can break. We'll make 25 to 50, but I'd like to get that done closer to 25 than 50. And then 75 to 102 for buy 2. Now, if that airliner that went down overnight and were subject to headlines was brought down by terrorists, oil prices will spike. They'll go up. If it was pilot error or equipment malfunction, it will not. %50 of airline accidents are pilot error, 30% are mechanical failure, and 20% are unexplained. It's been that way forever. Some stuff just isn't knowable. Like, which way is the market going to go next? Generally speaking, the market should do this. So we trade expectations. We do not trade 100% certainty. Trading in and of itself, there are just too damn many variables to come up with a mathematical algorithm. That covers all situations, but generally speaking, you can identify patterns that yield profitable trades. And if you trade those patterns over time, you'll be a happy camper. Okay, selling failure to take out the overnight session high, 87. I don't see how it cannot not come out. And so really the first area of interest to be a seller would be the 90 area plus or minus, and then 95. My scenario right now is that we're going to be higher today. We won't take out 2,000. We'll save that for tomorrow. Take that into the weekend. Now I don't know if that will actually happen or not, but that's the plan, and we're going to work it to get started, and we'll see what happens. We'll adjust as it goes. Okay, focus jobless claims, the new home sales, but even if those numbers come in worse than forecast, I think after they're absorbed, the market will move higher no matter what. And with this market, the worse the news, the more likely it is to rally, because the Fed won't be able to raise interest rates sooner. They'll have to do it later. Buy stocks. Okay, it'll take 15 minutes or so to get everything up and around and posted. I'll get to work on that right now.